Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're talking about Amazon, that massive online retailer where you can buy everything from books to batteries to apparently your way out of money laundering charges. And let me tell you folks, it's a pretty good place for criminals to hide their ill-gotten gains. Take Patrick Reams, for example. In 2017, Reams received an income report from Amazon saying that he had made $24,000 in book sales on the site. Problem was, his books hadn't sold enough copies to account for that kind of cash. So he did some digging and found out that someone had published a novel under his name using stolen credit cards to buy the book and keep the commission. And Amazon's internal filters did absolutely nothing to stop it. So why is Amazon so great for money laundering? Let me give you 3 reasons. Firstly, it's big, really big. The world's largest marketplace kind of big. They made $325 billion in 2022, and they've got over 12 million product listings. With that many products, it's virtually impossible to do any kind of genuine quality control. And they sell a lot of books, like 66,000 books every single hour. And as we saw with Reams, there doesn't seem to be much evidence that Amazon actually monitors the sale of any of its books, including what are very obviously fake ebooks. The problem is that Amazon's sheer size means that it's difficult for the company to monitor every transaction that takes place on its platform. And with millions of sellers and products, it's easy for criminals to hide in plain sight. And that's not even the worst part. Even when Amazon is made aware of fraud or money laundering, they aren't always quick to act. Take the case of the fraudulent ebook published under Patrick Reams' name. When he contacted Amazon's fraud investigators, they weren't able to do much for him. They couldn't send him a corrected 1099. They couldn't tell him what books the money was associated with or where the money was sent. All they were able to do was send Reams a letter acknowledging the dispute. Secondly, anyone can sell anything on Amazon, and you could decide to ship all of your products yourself. All you need is a product title, product description, bullet points, product images, search terms, and relevant keywords. And if you want to avoid using fulfillment by Amazon, you can always ship it yourself. Now, this can be legit, but it's also where money laundering comes into play. Criminals can list products that don't exist or do not belong to them, charge absurdly high prices to scare off legitimate buyers, then create a fake account and buy the book with laundered money. It's a perfect way to clean up that dirty cash. In fact, a lot of Amazon security measures are designed to prevent fraud and counterfeiting rather than money laundering. And even these measures are not foolproof. In 2020, Amazon suspended over 10,000 accounts for selling counterfeit products. But the company only took the action after the products had been listed for sale, which means that counterfeiters had already made it through Amazon security filters. And while Amazon does require sellers to verify their identity and provide bank account information, it's not difficult for criminals to get around these requirements by using fake or stolen identities. And finally, when you get paid by Amazon, it's in the form of a nice, clean check. As long as the items are marked as sold, they've been shipped, and have no refund requests, Amazon will pay out. Banks don't ask where the buyer got the money, and they don't verify the source of income, outside of showing that the money came from Amazon. The beauty in using Amazon is that since you can make your own price, criminals don't even have to sell a lot to reach 6 figures monthly. And if they're able to steal someone else's identity, like Patrick Reams, for example, they can use that person's social security number to set up a fake account, providing even more protection by making the victim of identity theft responsible for the product listings and earnings. Imagine having to pay taxes on sales you didn't even make. So there you have it, folks. Amazon is not just a place to buy your next vacuum cleaner or book. It's also the perfect place for criminals to hide their dirty money. And as we've seen, Amazon doesn't seem to be doing much to prevent money laundering from happening or to protect the victims of identity theft. But let's be clear, we're not saying that Amazon is actively promoting money laundering. The company has stated that it takes fraud seriously and has invested in new technologies to help identify and prevent fraudulent activities on its platform. But it's clear that the company needs to do more. For example, Amazon could require more stringent identity verification for sellers, invest in better fraud detection technologies, and implement stricter policies for reporting and handling fraud complaints. It's also worth noting that Amazon is not the only platform where criminals can launder money. There are countless other online marketplaces and payment platforms that are vulnerable to money laundering, But given Amazon's size and reach, it's particularly concerning that the company seems to be falling short in its effort to combat financial crime. In conclusion, while Amazon may be a convenient and popular online marketplace, it's also a prime target for money launderers. And I'm willing to bet the company isn't going to do much, if anything else, to address the issue. If you're really interested into how money laundering happens and what the future holds for it, watch this video where I react to using ChatGPT and the AI to launder money.